to cut the wire about the length of a phone. Usually I have an iPhone, so I use that as my measurement. I'm just going to take 2 of those. Oh, no. Wrong end. Where the fuck did that just go? See, man. Oh, there it is. Here we go. You're going to want to cut a piece. It's about exactly the same. Doesn't really matter. And save the rest of your kanthal. I'll kind of put that away. I'm done with the wired clippers for now, so you're going to take your kanthal wire, you're going to take one of them, you're going to take a paper clip. If you have a 20 gauge needle, use a 20 gauge needle. If you don't have one, grab a fucking paper clip, it works the same. But you're going to do 14 wraps. So usually what I do, I know this sounds weird, I do like a lead 2 wrap, so that way I have something to grip onto, and then I do my actual consecutive wraps after that. And while you're wrapping them, if you want to, I do this every time I wrap mine, I kind of push them closer together. Don't do that, because of my battery.
Your battery will be fine.
Anyways, 14 wraps. So then what I do is I take those 2 first, like, couple of lead wraps, and I unwrap them. So that way I'm able to use just the 14 that are there. So I just take those first couple of lead wraps, take them off, and then get everything kind of tightened right back up. So you can see, pretty nice and tight. I know my autofocus on my phone's kind of retarded, but pretty nice and tight there.
Hold on.
It's 14 wraps. I don't know why I didn't think of that. 14 wraps, pretty much, right there, ish.
Can't see it. Hold on. Look, do it. Get closer. There you go.
So see, 14 wraps, kind of nice and tight there. It's pretty simple. Show you guys on my camera. If it'll let me. Well, let's see.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, just in case there's any water in there.
14 wraps. You're gonna be making 2 of these, so try and keep them as almost identical as possible. And then make sure you tighten them up. If you're using like a 20 gauge needle or something, you don't want it to be loose to where they just kind of like fall off. You want it kind of just to where they're nice and tight. So then you're going to take, oh. Did I drop the other piece of kanthal? Yep, I did. 1 second. Oh, it's right by your foot. Yep. 50 feet.
Such a cool
nose for camera. Sorry, I suck. Anyways,
If you're wondering what just happened, I threw his mod in the freezer without the battery for about a minute or two, just to see how cool of a hit I could get.
It was actually pretty nice.
It worked
refreshing.
very well.
Refreshing. Anyways,
Back to the coil.
so 14 wraps. You're gonna do one, and now, if you want to, you can do this now. You can do it later. Doesn't really matter. You're gonna put your leads through your posts. God, if I had a steady hand. Here we go. You put your leads through your posts. And now, what's cool about the Dragon coils is the way you have to actually set them. So what I do is, I usually get something long enough that I can poke it through the back end of my coil. And what I'm going to do here...
The paper clip you used to wrap it?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the coil close in, but not to where it's going to touch the posts. And then I angle it up, so the back end of the coil...
Oh my god, that was amazing. ...is
angled towards the little bit of a drip well that the Nimbus XL clone has. And then I angled the top end towards the top of the posts. Kind of like that. So if you can see that, if you can't, sorry. But as you can see, it's the way the coil looks. You can see it there. The coil's angled up, and the bottom end of the coil is angled towards the drip well. Top end of the coil is angled up and away towards the top of the posts. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to make sure that everything's kind of lined up straight. It's kind of nice. And then what you can do at this point is, if you have this lead already through in the far post, you can cut the lead off. So you can cut the lead like that. And then what I like to do is I actually like to test fire just one at a time to make sure they burn from the inside out, and see how that one kind of went retarded there for a second, doesn't burn all the way. So what I like to do, I need to take my tweezers and get in here to kind of squeeze it together. Squeeze it together. And then fire it again. And then see, just like that, burns from the inside out. So let's see if I can't show you again. Burns from the inside out. Just like that. Show this camera. Burning from the inside out. Perfect. That is a perfect Nano Dragon coil right there. Alright, so set this back down. So now that you've got one built and it's perfect, it's a good Nano Dragon, burns even, goes straight, you know, it's perfect. What you want you to do, put your lock back on, take your battery back out, whichever you prefer. Leave this lead long, so when you put your other lead through, it's easier to make sure that your first Nano Dragon doesn't actually pop out. So now that we have both leads set, now that we have both posts set, we're going to wrap the second coil. So move your mod out of the way. Take your second. Alright. 1, 2 lead wraps. And then 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope.
What are you using your phone? Huh?
What?
Were you using my phone a second
Hmm?
ago?
6, 7, 8, 9,
10. Yeah.
Alright. Another 14 solid reps. So as you can see again, 14 solid reps, tight so they don't come off. Tighten them up just a little more. Make sure they're tight. Alright. So then we're going to do the same thing again. Except this time you're going to make it face the other way on your mod. So and most people, if you're watching this and you built coils before and stuff like that, you've torched your coils so that way they become more rigid and stiff like that. Obviously you didn't see me do that, and that's because I didn't. One, because I don't own a torch, and then two, because you really don't have to. Because if you're building your coil on something the size of like a 20 gauge needle or anything like that, like Rip Chipper said it before, it kind of just stabilizes itself. It's not really necessary. So 20 gauge coil, nice and tight, nice and evenly spaced. And take it, you're going to put the leads through this end of your mod. See, right there. That's why you kept that other lead long, so it stayed safe. And you do the same thing you did with that one and with this one. So you're going to angle it up, just like that. Sorry guys, my cat was on the counter where he's not supposed to be. And he knows that, but he's an adventurous little tyke, so he does it anyways. So you're going to tighten. Wow. He really doesn't care that he got pushed off a second ago. He's right back on the counter. Tighten that one down. And you're going to tighten your center post. Just like that, boom. So now what you can do is you can actually play with your leads now, or not your leads, but your actual coils, and you can get them positioned in the direct manner that they're supposed to be. And then pull that one, and just make sure this one's angled the right way. I think just like that. So now what you can do is you can come in here and you can cut all your leads. Just like that. Because it's so hard to cut that, I gotta come back in here and space that back out. That one's spaced out. Make sure it's angled just a little more. There we go.